Let's talk about spiritual transformation. Right now, man, I'm undergoing a pretty intense transformation. It's a process of becoming, and I want to speak about this a little bit, man, because I don't often share too much about the stuff that goes on behind the scenes and the kind of process that I'm going through. And let me tell you, man, I am really going through a process right now, and you will too. You will be going through this in your own way. This work, it unfolds in phases and stages. And at some point, man, what happens is you get really serious. You become genuinely interested in doing this. You're not just doing it to reduce your suffering, or because you think it's kind of cool, or because you want to feel high, or because you want to get enlightened. You can do it for those reasons too, and I still do to an extent. But at some point, man, you become committed. And you start doing things. You start, for example, purifying yourself. I'll tell you a bit about what this has looked like for me, man. So even in the past 2 weeks, I don't know when this video is going out, but in the past 2 weeks, man, I've I've participated in multiple ceremonies, spiritual ceremonies. And the thing about these ceremonies, man, is they bring a lot of stuff up. And when you participate in a ceremony and you get an altered state of consciousness and you can see everything, it's like it opens up a process, and how it feels is like you have something within you. You can't quite put your finger on what it is, but you've got this energy or this consciousness inside of you, something alive in you, and it's like subtly guiding you. And it will guide you to be just purer, kinder, more gentle, lighter. And you can see there's a theme here. All of these things are helping you to be literally more formless, more like consciousness, more like spirit or water even. Spirit is even better actually, because spirit's formless, isn't it? So you're being guided to become more of what you ultimately are on a spiritual level, which is consciousness. And that shows up for you in different ways. Lots of things start to happen as well. Random things of random intense experiences, or trauma releasing, or emotional releasing, or heightened spiritual experiences. A couple of days ago, I'd eaten a bit too much. I felt really bloated. And all I wanted to do was yoga and breath work, particularly yoga. I was just doing different yoga poses. And I was just doing that, and it was 11 o'clock at night. And I just kept on doing it and sort of almost purging. And how it felt was like I was just cleaning up and purifying and trying to get back to myself, because I'd fallen out of balance. And when I was doing this breathwork, man, or this yoga, a bit of both, it put me into this altered state where I had crazy insight into all of the times where I've not eaten well, or all of the times where I've eaten too much. And I could feel into how I don't need to do that again. And how when I do that, that's not me. And how I don't really want to do that to begin with. Experiences like these, I find that you have them so much more when you're undergoing this spiritual transformation, because you will feel a lot. You'll feel a lot more. And also you'll have so many more insights. You'll be so insightful. You'll just constantly be realizing things. And then what will happen is you're kind of trying to catch up with your higher consciousness or your intuition or your insights, because you'll be having a lot of them. And this is a time of real integration, because you're literally transforming, and you've got to try and listen, but also integrate what you're experiencing, because what you're experiencing is more truth, man. That's the thing. the way to simplify all of this is to just say that you are experiencing truth and you're having to change because of that. Something else, man, that I've experienced in the past couple of weeks and months is actually sleeplessness and not being able to get to sleep. And there was one moment in particular where I had something quite big the next day. I'd even travelled to get to this place, and it was a whole thing. And I literally, dude, I just could not get to sleep. And so, you know how it is when you're just awake and you just cannot do anything. You've tried every single thing conceivable. I just got to the point where I was like, right, okay, I'm going to go tomorrow. I'm going to do the thing. No sleep. Cool. But before I'd achieved that, like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. I went through like a roller coaster of experiences. Like I'd felt like a child, like a helpless child. Like I just wanted to be soothed. I felt pissed off the night before something happened and I was just thinking about it. I also felt just like completely detached and like disassociating from everything. And I just kept going back and forth between sort of high, low, fucking far out, everything. And I ended up like back straight meditating up on my bed. I was staying in a hotel at the time. And dude, I was like, right, yeah, this is it. This is the spiritual path. You know, intense suffering. And this wasn't the first time this happened. It happened again, and it's happened a few times. And I just didn't have this a few years ago. Also, you know where this spiritual transformation really shows up for you? It's in the relationship that you have with yourself. Every single day these days, when I go on walks, I experience myself and reality differently. Sometimes I experience them as the same thing. So I experience a non-dual perception. So I'm walking and I'm realizing, right, there's no difference here. So little moments, man, where I'm just very conscious. And again, really, the more you flow with this and the more you are with yourself, the more you'll see that you are not different from reality. You are reality. You are everything, man. Everything in your experience is you. But also, as you're undergoing this transformation, your relationship with others, because how you relate to people now is very different. You're very awake. You're more sensitive to energy and projection. And not just in like others projecting onto you, but also in yourself projecting onto others. And I'll tell you what's really cool, man, is you never thought that you could have changed your perception of other people so much in such a short amount of time. These days, man, anytime I see like even just my family members, but like especially people I don't see too often, so like some friends here and there, I'm so sensitive to how people are interacting with me, or how like they've changed or they haven't changed, or how I've changed and how now I'm experiencing them differently. It's like I'm seeing things. And the reason this happens, the reason you can experience this stuff and pick this stuff up, is because you're more conscious, right? So again, very simply, spiritual transformation means you become more conscious. It means many micro things within that, but that's the big picture. And so look out for this. Notice how interesting it is to experience other people, family members, friends. Strangers is an interesting one as well, because you have no information or context. It's just going to be projection, because you don't know anything yet. You're just assuming. So, that's a really interesting mirror. Use strangers for this work. You'll see that what you think strangers are, who you think they are, what you think they are, will change a lot. You might, have been super socially anxious and thought, oh man, all these people outside. But then you start to realize people have inner childs, or people are God. And again, these aren't beliefs. You're seeing it because you've unlocked it in yourself. We only work with what's true. We will revisit this, man, definitely. This topic of spiritual transformation. And I will share with you as I, have more insights on this, man. But for now, all I would say is begin to undergo the process. Take your time. But it's worth it. The truth is, the kind of insights that you have when you do end up pursuing it and undergoing the process is, this is the only work that really counts. This is it. This is it. This is the work to do. You have flashes of that and insights that will come to you. And so, use your intuition to decipher what I'm saying here. Depending on where you're at, this might be like super what you need to hear, or just, a nice reminder like, oh yeah, stay on the spiritual path. But if you're, really into it like me, you might be like, wow, okay, maybe I need to take it to the next level. Maybe I need to have another powerful experience with certain tools, And a final point for me will be, you will start to begin to enjoy the process. You've probably heard that a bunch from different people, man. I certainly have. But genuinely, man, you will start to enjoy it. It's not a grind. It's not hard work. It can be challenging. Definitely, man, of course. But you start to be like, oh, I see how this works. Right. I'm meant to enjoy this. I can enjoy this. I'm going to appreciate the small moments. I'm going to appreciate the process. I'm going to lean into it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to say yes. And then one day, you're going to stop. You're going to look around. You're going to look at yourself. You're going to do some reflection. And you're going to be like, oh my God. And you're going to be blown away by how much you've changed. Because you underwent this spiritual transformation. No one else is doing this. Normal people don't do this work. Wise people who have strong intuitions and just a knowing to do this work, they do this work. You are one of those people. So, my friend, good luck with it. Dude, take care. Lots of love. And as always, man, peace.